Hey everybody, Paul. We're here at Epoxy ChemTec in Quebec, Canada. We created a bunch of tabletops for their offices, so that's pretty sweet. Really excited with them. We're going to get that set up. We're going to show you what they look like. So let's get right into it. Let's tighten up some bolts. So we often get asked, how do we attach our steel table legs to the tables? We use threaded inserts, voila, from Rampatech. These have 3 threads, so they're guaranteed to go in straight. And these are a machined insert, much better quality than the inserts that you're gonna get at a Home Depot. So we're gonna go ahead, we drill our holes with a 10mm drill bit, and then we're able to thread them in to the tabletop. Very strong and very, very simple also. So we have office desk number 1, 30 inches wide, 60 inches long, beautiful spalted maple, and this is done with about 30 liters of ChemTec with a little bit of blue metallic pigment in it. This has been sanded up to 220 grit and finished with Rubio monocoat. Office desk number 2, 60 inches long, 30 inches wide. This is done with white oak, and it has about 30 liters of ChemTec Epoxy with a silver black metallic pigment, left nice and translucent. You can see right through it. And this one's close to 3 inches thick. Desk number 3, 60 inches long, 30 inches wide. This one's got a stunning curly piece of Manitoba maple, super unique shape to it. And in this one we did a multi-layered pour where we did a blue base layer. We then did a clear layer with a little bit of white mixed in, and we were able to use a heat gun and a stick to basically mix it around and make some pretty cool textures. Then on top of that, we finally pour the ChemTec crystal clear layer. We then sanded it up to 220 grit, and this is finished with a water-based spray lacquer. So here we are, office desk number 4. This one's done with 2 Canadian black walnut slabs. We did a base layer colored pour using white pearl pigment, and this is done with the Chem Natural, which does react very quickly, so it gives you really intense swirl patterns as long as you follow the rules. Then on top of that, we did a crystal clear layer of ChemTec Epoxy. This one is sanded up to 220 grit and also finished with a water-based spray lacquer. I think this one just turned out stunning. I love this one. Desk number 5 that we call the cow table, 60 inches long, 30 inches wide. This is creating using a whole bunch of black locust cookies, which all have a crazy unique shape to them. And this one was done with perfectly white epoxy, so a whole bunch of white pigment mixed into the epoxy. We do this in 2 pours. I like to pour half of it, splash the epoxy on everywhere, seal all the edges using the base pour, and then the second pour will finally top it all up. What that's going to do is trap all the particles that you might have loose in there, and it's not going to show up in your top layer. Very important when you have a solid white color or even a solid black color. And this table's been sanded up to 220 grit and also sprayed with a water-based lacquer. Office desk number 6, this one is done with some stunning burly willow, which we were talking earlier. Normally you wouldn't even be able to use this type of lumber without, mixing it with epoxy to create your tabletop. With this one we did a base color pour, solid jet black. We let that cure up, and then we did a little bit of clear with some white mixed on top of it to kind of mimic the waves in an ocean. Then from there, once that cured up, we did a layer of ChemTec Epoxy on the top of it. This one here is also sanded up to 220 grit and finished with a water-based lacquer. Super unique. I think another one turned out stunning. Okay, so here we have the owner's desk. Mapa Burl, which we imported directly from Serbia. Stunning lumber. It's got some really unique grain patterns. We used about 40 liters of ChemTec Epoxy in this tabletop, tinted to a nice smoky gray, and this is finished also with Rubio monocoat, sanded up to 220 grit. And last but not least, we have the conference room table, 8 foot long, 42 inches wide, beautiful Canadian black walnut slab, cast in about 60 liters of jet black ChemTec Epoxy. This has been sanded up to 220 grit and finished with Rubio monocoat, and we have integrated media outlets for all those business meetings. Alright, that's it. Mission successful. 6.5 hour long drive, a French poutine in our belly, a little sleep at a hotel, showing up here early in the morning, getting all the tables set up in each individual office, and then bringing up the conference table as well as Jason's desk, the owner of the company. Very important. Have them set up upstairs. Everything went very well. We have a long drive back now to Ontario, 6.5 hours. But that's it, folks. I hope you enjoy the tabletops. I hope you enjoyed or learned a little something about how we created each one. So if you want to create something similar, the epoxy to use, what we sanded to, what type of finish, as well as the process of layering the different colors. So as always, everyone, make it a great one. You got any questions? You know what to do. Comment below.